And welcome, everybody. VSTE is so excited for you to be here with us today at noon. We have with us Jeff Rothenberger and Justin Fry on a presentation, Fostering Literacy Growth for K-5 Learners. So I'm going to turn it over to those gentlemen right now. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Heather, for that nice introduction. I'm Jeff Rothenberger, and Justin Fry is here with me as well. We have a link in the chat if you wouldn't mind going in and answering that question for us a little bit. It'll help us drive where we're going to go with this. So, again, my name is Jeff Rothenberger. I've served as an educator, instructional tech coach, secondary tech coordinator, service agency administrator, and I'm here with Justin Fry. I keep pronouncing his last name. He keeps giving me a hard time about that. But he's a good friend, principal at Phillipsburg Elementary School. And we're excited to share this with you today, fostering foundational literacy growth for K-5 learners. We're always looking for ideas on how to keep students engaged and reading. And we thank you for taking the time to complete that short form. I'm going to take a real quick jump over here, and it looks like we have about 33% of you are in a mixed environment right now, as well as in a virtual environment. And lots of responses with regards to comprehension. How do you do things virtually, one-to-one, materials, comprehension skills. And the biggest challenge right now is phonological awareness for the literacy component. So we thank you for taking this poll with us and looking at that. And so now, in the chat over to the right, we know we can't provide you with a total understanding of this topic in 30 minutes, but what is one thing you hope to take away that will help you when you return to your classroom on Monday? You can use the chat to share your thoughts. We look forward to those thoughts that you share, and we're only going to give you about 30 seconds for those comments. So
excuse me, I need to interrupt. They're saying that they can only see your notes, not the slides.
That's weird.
It is weird.
You just shared a different tab.
Let's try this again. Can you see it now?
Not yet.
How's that?
There you go.
Hey! Sorry about everybody.
Oh, good.
Appreciate you jumping in there. So again, we know that you can't provide you with that, but if you would in the chat, what are you hoping to take away and be able to use on Monday? Again, we're looking at K-5 instructional foundational literacy, and what are your interests? So as you're looking through what people are chatting about, please review what they're saying, and maybe you can connect with somebody that's in the session here to find someone that has a similar interest. And I don't see anybody. There we go. Anything will help teachers write. Good. So thank you for putting in those posts. So right now I'd like for you to introduce Justin Fry. He's the principal of Phillipsburg Elementary School. So I'm going to turn it over to Justin to share his story about what he's doing with his students.
Hey everybody, it's great to be on here, and it's an honor to be asked to present a little story about what's going on at our school. So my name is Justin Fry. I'm the principal at Phillipsburg Elementary. We're located in central Pennsylvania, and I heard that maybe down in Virginia you had a snow day there on Monday. We haven't had any snow yet up here, so I'm okay with that. But I just wanted to, kind of go through and share our story, what's going on at Phillipsburg Elementary. This is my first year as principal here. We are a K-5 school. This is my 4th year in administration and 18th year in education. So Jeff, you can go ahead to the next slide there. Now, one of the things I want to go through is kind of like our story that from the beginning of the year till now. This is our first year implementing LightSail and LevelUp. So one of the things that was very important to us was the professional development to start the year. Rosen, LightSail and LevelUp, they were able to provide people to meet with our teachers, go through the program, make it simple for them to understand how to use it to begin the year. Within the program, there's a lot of assessments that are embedded with each book. So as the students go in, and it's a very easy to use program. Our students utilize it every day in the building. They're able to log in on their own. They go in, they can pick books, and I'll explain a little bit more of that process of how they pick books in a minute. There's interactive reading both in school and at home. So we have been virtual a couple times this year. We do offer a cyber program this year. Our cyber program is embedded within our building. So it actually comes out from our teachers in the class. So the students at home can be involved in the program, whether they're in the building or at home. As I mentioned before, it's very easy to navigate for the students and for the teachers. There's a lot of data with that. LightSail growth, comprehension quizzes, minutes read, books read. There's a lot of valuable information that you can get from that. And there's a variety of books and topics to meet the students' needs and help them grow. And as I started with, fantastic customer service. Anytime that we need anything done, I send an email to Jeff, to Cindy, to Arlene. Those are our representatives there, and they're able to answer any questions. Anytime we get a new student, we send them the information. By the end of the school day, they have the new students on there. They're also able to, as you learned today, there's 2 different programs. LevelUp is geared towards K-2. LightSail is 3 to 5. And actually, I think it goes 3 to 8. But we use it 3 to 5 here at our elementary school. And we're also able to transition our kids back and forth. So for example, if we have a 3rd grade student that's in the LightSail program and they might be a struggling reader, we can work with the company and they can put them into a LevelUp program. So I think that's probably been a really valuable tool to a lot of our teachers, and vice versa. We've had some 2nd graders reading at a high level that we've moved them on to the LightSail so they can incorporate 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade reading. You can go ahead, Jeff. Just sharing some of our facts. So if you look on there, since the beginning of the year, we broke it down, or I broke it down by grade level. Our kindergarten, they're just now starting to get into the program, but the rest of our grade levels, they're on there quite often. Our students are averaging, quite a few books, reading every day, and the LightSail growth. That's probably the most important thing that I'm going to look at. I want the students to read, especially after being off school the last couple months of the year. There was a lot of worry about student reading abilities and reading levels coming into this school year. So I think this is something that's very valuable to see, especially with the LightSail growth. The reason why at the end there I put the LightSail growth from 9-1 to 10-31 and then 11-1 to 12-4 was because on November 1st, we started a reading challenge contest at our school. And for myself, I don't know if you can see my suit here, it lights up and everything. I really get into trying to help the kids, really feel comfortable about being in the building. So with our reading challenge, I challenge all of our kids, our top readers in the building, and our contest ends next week. But our top reader is going to get to hit me with a whipped cream pie. We're going to do a virtual assembly where the kids that get to hit me will be able to come into my office and hit me with a whipped cream pie. The class that reads the most minutes is getting everyone in the class. Our student council developed a commercial that we shared out with our student body, and they actually hit me with the whipped cream pies in the commercial. So it's been a very welcoming event that our kids love. Every week or every day when I'm going in the classrooms, the kids are letting me know, Mr. Phi, I read 3 books last night. I was on for an hour. They are always telling me that they're reading, and that's something that's great to hear. It's not just, hey, how are you? It's I come into the classroom and they're telling me they're reading, and that's what I'm looking for. And because of this program, it's allowed us to be able to do that. You can go ahead to the next slide, Jeff. And this is the reading challenge. So one of my teachers took my picture and made a bulletin board. So our students see that every day when they come into the building, get them excited about what's going on. But the biggest thing, and I think some of you had asked some questions about, how this program is useful. We have had many family members comment on the ability of, because of it being a device that they can use at home as well as in the building, they utilize it every day. The parents are very pleased because they like how the students can have a choice of what books they read, but at the same time, they're going to be reading books on their level. So I think that's very important. Another component of this program that's been very valuable to our building is with our Title I reading program. With the number of kids that are choosing to learn virtually this year, we have incorporated this program into our Title I with our Title I teachers. So when they do their lessons online, they assign books for the students, and you can actually go in and assign particular books at particular levels to meet the needs of your students, which I think is very important. A lot of times you go in and the students are just kind of free reading on their own, but here we're able to track what they're reading, what level they're at. They have power challenges after, at certain times after they read so many books. So a power challenge is when they get their reading level reevaluated. And then we can use that information to assign more books for the students. So just a couple teacher testimonials on here. I went to a couple of our teachers. Our 5th grade instructor, Mrs. Thal, she teaches social studies in ELA. And she is someone that she's very passionate about reading. And she utilizes it with her students every day. During homeroom time, they're asked to get on when they come up before first period starts, and they're on LightSail reading. So it's something that's very important to her. And as you can see in her own words there, it's a good sell because she actually has her students journal what they read and share out in class, which is a very valuable tool. I also had our 2nd grade teacher. So Mrs. Thal would be utilizing LightSail. Mrs. Putt utilizes LevelUp. Once again, I think the biggest takeaway is allowing students with the opportunity to choose what books they want to read, but it's still going to match their reading ability. That's so important. And it's an easy sell to our parents to get them involved when they see that, we are allowing them that choice of what they can read. The other thing, it allows us to do is to give quizzes at the conclusion of the books, and it allows the teachers to help guide their instruction with the classroom. So the next thing here is I actually had a few students come down and I interviewed them and I just asked them, it was kind of right on the spot. I didn't even give them a chance to think about it. I just said, I want you to tell me what you like about the reading program. And as you can see in these pictures, there's just a couple pictures of it in some classrooms there where they're utilizing it. And like I said, they utilize it every day during our homeroom time. At the end of the day, before we go and get on the buses to go home, the students are really, buying into the program, and they enjoy the product that they're seeing. So go ahead, Jeff, you can go ahead and do the videos there.
I like LightSail because it shows you cool books that you can read that you won't be able to find in stores sometimes. Also because if you don't know how to pronounce a word, if you can't read well, it can speak to you. And my final reason why I like LightSail is you can find cool information that you won't usually find in normal books.
Well, what I like about LightSail is that it will quiz you on what you've learned about in the book. And there are different things that you can read about and things that you like you can find on there. And
I like LightSail because one thing it does for you is if you're having trouble reading a word, then just put your cursor on it, drag it across, and it'll read it to you.
What I like about LightSail is that you can pick books in the library. You can put the filter on where it is power books, so it's easier to find power books to read. So the power books are whenever you have to read a book at your lesson store, and the star is whenever you can just read whatever you want.
So, those are some good kiddos there. And CJ was our last kid, and he's our student council president. So he's pretty boisterous about everything that he shares out. But just to explain to him real quick before I turn it over to Jeff, is the fact that the last part he talked about there with the power challenge and the lightning bolt. So as students read books, they're asked to read so many books on their LexIL level. And then after they read so many books, then they can go and pick a different book on a different level. So they have the opportunity to still, just like the kids reading in the classroom, getting books from the library, sometimes they're going to pick books that maybe aren't exactly on their level, but they enjoy reading through them and looking at them. So they still have that opportunity to do that, but just doing it virtually and online. So go ahead, Jeff, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Justin. You know, there are just amazing, wonderful things that are happening at his school, and we couldn't be more excited to be partnering with them. And that's one of the things that our company is doing, is always looking to partner with schools to make you be successful at what's happening. Again, in the chat, if you could, what obstacles hold back student access to books? We are a publishing company, been around for 70 years or so. And again, we're always looking at saying, what are the books that will be most, effective for instruction? So in the chat, please share, your thoughts here. Give you about 30 seconds to respond. And as entries are being added, please review what others, teachers and people are posting about their struggles with the, accessing books, virtually and in school, and then you might want to check back with them on ideas about how to get appropriate books into students' hands. So we're always looking about how to make, reading be more productive with what students are doing. So again, if you could add that to the chat. So a little bit about Level Up. I'd like to take a few minutes just to share what the resources Justin talked about and how they're being used in his building. Level Up is Rosen Publishing's newest adaptive reading platform for young readers. It's only been out for a little over more than a year, and we are seeing great results with it. The platform allows students in grades pre-K to 3, basically. And again, as Justin said, it jumps back and forth depending whether you want to do this with grade 2 or grade 3 to build and practice their reading skills. And we provide a library of over 2,400 fiction and nonfiction titles. And as Justin shared, the first time a student enters Level Up, they receive a short assessment to place them in their just right reading level. From here, they are provided with books and topics that align with not just their reading level, but also their interests. The library dashboard allows children to browse topics that interest them. Our library offers a variety of text that supports not just the love of reading, but also to learn about important age-appropriate topics. We have many titles that align to what children want to learn about around the world, and we have included many books that help support the content of history, STEAM and STEM, social emotional learning, and many others. We have also included over 650 Spanish and bilingual titles in the library. The Reader is an easy and intuitive ebook reader that allows students to read books that were created specifically for their level. At the bottom, they can click on an indicator they can click to include the actor narrated voice. One of the things that we incorporated was we didn't use any electronic voices. We have actors that actually read all of the books. The narrated voice that is reading these books includes fluency rate that is appropriate for their reading level. This allows children to read along with the actor to practice their own fluency skills. We also have a phonics solution with over 110 interactive phonics resources. Children can work on their basic reading skills of phonics, phonemic awareness, letter recognition, and more. Each phonics book has at least 2 embedded activities for extended practice. Each activity extends the skill practice to reinforce the lessons taught by the narrator. These activities make learning fun. We also include gaming. We felt gamification was important for students to be rewarded with. The more children read, the more the rewards they can earn. Students earn stars for completing a book, answering developmentally appropriate questions, and other built-in activities. They can use these credits to play in Level Up Land, which is developed using the Unity multidimensional gaming platform. This read to play and play to read gaming is a favorite with a lot of our young readers. The fun, adaptive, and intuitive Level Up program engages children on its own, so it can make a positive difference on a student's reading skills development and easy for parents to use as well. Oh, let me go back a screen here. The next product I'll share with you today is Rosen-LightSail, the adaptive reading platform for grades actually 3 and up. We don't stop at just 5th grade, but we do go through 3 and up. With over 6,000 authentic texts, and with our partnership with Metametrics, Rosen-LightSail is a suite of products that supports the learner's reading, writing, and fluency needs. It's very similar in that when students log in for the first time, they encounter a power challenge, which is a LexIO aligned baseline assessment used to find students' current reading level and match them with a personalized, differentiated, just right reading level library. Once completed, the students will be assessed formatively through their everyday reading, as Justin shared. Their assessment performance in each book will allow Rosen-LightSail to automatically reevaluate their level and adjust their personalized library every 15 days. So teachers don't have to do anything, it automatically will do it for them. Our library, our library in Rosen-LightSail has over 6,000 books. Students are able to choose what interests them the most. This slide illustrates the breadth and variety of reading materials that we have available in the core collection on our platform. We have high interest biographies, curriculum aligned titles for social studies and science, fiction, and much more for readers at all LexIO levels. When students enter a book, students will engage with the embedded closed vocabulary activities, multiple choice and short response questions aligned to the standards for Virginia, as well as reading skills. Students must respond to any embedded questions to continue reading. As they read, they will earn badges, awards for good work as they continue to type and read types of different various books. We also believe in equity of access and personalized options for each reader. For students who may need some help, because we don't have any students, all of our students are reading the grade level, right? We wish. But for students that are reading, that do need some extra help because of ADHD, they may have dyslexia, or just because they have a wandering mind, or students who have visual impairments, we have built in a personalized option for them to be able to have supports that meet their needs. This feature was designed to ensure that students who struggle with text are provided a different type of reading experience, such as shading, text highlighting, text-to-speech, pacing, and there's actually 65 different varieties of options that can be turned on that relate to the personalized feature that's available. When the teacher logs in, the teacher dashboard has built-in tools that provide you with students' reading activity, assessment scores, daily progress in real time, including current student reading activity, and which students are still working on the power challenge, how far through they are in that, as well as how long it has taken them to, till it resets again. This allows educators to actively monitor your students' current reading and vocabulary activity. And as I looked at the results on the form that some of you filled out, one of the features that's built in here is, as you're looking at this screen, you can see the last student, Ronald, he's reading all about Vikings right now. As the teacher, you can click on that icon and you can follow the student where they are, even if they're at home, it doesn't matter. You can follow what they're reading. As they come to the closed assessments, you can see how they're answering them. And then over to the right, we have the chat, where you can direct chats to students or colleagues about what they're doing. So you can chat one-on-one with that student, you can chat with your class. There's also vocabulary trends that you can chat about as well. So lots of great features in there for you to be able to look at and have the data that you need. And again, there's over 110 data points that you can pull up. The other thing that's really cool about this dashboard is where they have these percentage signs. If they're an 80%, you can click on this and it will produce a individualized PDF practice sheet for that student around the current levels of where they are. So again, the chat is another great feature that we can turn off and on. You can set the settings so that the chat is only on when the teacher is online. This keeps students secure. We have a homework feature. Within the homework module, teachers can build and create homework reading plans. This is perfect way to differentiate your homework assignments, as Rosen-LightSail will assist you to personalize, adapt at the reading homework experience for each student. You can do a one-time assignment, or you can do ongoing assignments. When I was in the classroom, one of the things that I always asked my students to do was to try to read every night. And then I'd have them sign the assignment book for the parents, sign it and bring it back. No longer need to do that. Teacher can check on this on a daily basis and find out exactly where they are and what's going on without anybody having to look at anything. Content Builder is an awesome solution that is also in here for you to build and bring in any kind of components that you want to and import anything you want to. This gives you the power to add free content that speaks to their students and aligns to your curriculum. Every single text brought into the library can be shared with the class, with your teachers in your building, or with the school or district library. When importing text, you can import your very own curriculum aligned text right into Rosen-LightSail using a website article link, an EPUB, a Word doc, and it will Lexile the work that you bring in, and it will also embed educational videos into Word doc files as well. So while you and your colleagues are importing text, you can decide to share them with each other and across the building or within the school or even in the district. It gives everyone access. This is an example right now of what might look like when you're looking at bringing in something from the web. Lots of distractions on here. Another problem with relying on web pages for instruction is that one day they're there, the next day they're gone. When I bring in a website into this solution, excuse me, it remains in your Rosen library forever. After a few short steps, I can go from this page to what it looks like here. And you notice that the noise is removed and it provides a clean reading experience for my students.
Just a quick note, you have 4 minutes.
Thank you. So again, it also shows you that we do have the closed assessments in there that for the vocabulary. So I'd like to open it up to questions right now. So if you can turn on the slide or to give people an opportunity to ask a question. There's much more that we'd like to share, but we've come to our close of time. Your main contact for Rosen Classroom in Virginia is Mark O'Brien or myself. I've included our contact information here for you to be able to look to, reach out to us. I'd also invite you to visit our sponsor booth and check with Mark O'Brien for more information about what our programs are and how they can be implemented into your school. If you visit our booth, we are sponsor booth. We have 2 booths. We have a sponsor booth 1 and a sponsor booth 2. If you go into sponsor booth 2, you can enter to win a Rosen Classroom program of your choice. And we have 3 different levels here. So we have the LevelUp program, which I talked about, and the Rosen-LightSail program that we talked about. And we also offer a focus on social and emotional learning, which is the literacy-based SEL program for K through 6. It's a 30-week curriculum that's already developed and ready to go in print or digital format. So at this time, I'd like to, again, I have 3 minutes left for either questions for either Justin or I, and we look forward to answering your questions.
I see one question that says, can a teacher move their level?
The teacher can go in and assign the Lexile level to the student if they desire to, yes.
Our Title I teachers do that a lot. Especially with our students that aren't in the building that they don't have face-to-face interaction with every day. So they go in there a lot of times and change the levels.
And thank you, Justin, for putting your email contact in the chat too. So if anybody wants to chat with him there, please feel free to. Any other questions? Well, thank you for attending then and enjoy your conference. And it was a pleasure to be invited to present as well. And we wish you a happy holiday break that's coming up. I know we're all looking for that. And hopefully we don't get too much more snow.
That's right. One more Friday until Christmas break, right? One more Friday.
One more Friday.
We'll all be good. But yes, thank you very much. And please let me know if any of you ever have any questions over what Jeff and I talked about or at any time. I'll be more than glad to help.
Thank you.
I just say hi, Jeff, now that I'm unmuted. How are you?
Casey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
It's been a while since we've had a chance to chat. So it's nice that you're virtually getting online, even though you're just down the road from me a little bit.
I know. Rachel and I work together a lot now.
Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Heather, did you stop the recording?